These are the Solubility Rules by Fiona Chu and Juan Sebastian Marquez. Since this is an interactive version of the study guide, I'm gonna need you to print your own periodic table, or if you have your own, you can get it, but you're going to have to follow along. I recommend you get 2 highlighters and highlight the inner portions of the castle, meaning the tower and the horse, with a different color than the walls. So as Dr. Lichter states quite often during class, he likes to look at the periodic table as a castle, right? A castle contains a wall, a tower, a horse, and even an inner tower. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the wall, the biggest wall. That is going to contain the middle 5 elements in the alkali metal part of the periodic table, and these are going to include lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, and cesium, and these are going to be soluble always, so there's no exception to these. These are easy. The wall is always soluble. Then we have the tower. These are going to be the exceptions for sulfate, and these include calcium, strontium, and beryllium. Then you have the horse, which is another exception, group of exceptions, and these include silver, mercury, and lead. These are going to be the exceptions for the inner wall, and the inner wall includes the elements in the halogen section, the middle 3 elements, and these are chloride, bromide, and iodide. These are soluble except when in the presence of a horse, so you can think of a wall that can be run over by a lot of horses. Okay, so these are the compounds that you're gonna have to memorize, and we thought it would be simple if you could relate this to something that you see a lot of in class. And what we remembered is that Dr. Lichter says that we don't need a tutor in order to pass this class with a good grade, and we agree. So you can just think no clutch, so you can pass chemistry 1045 even if you don't have to go to clutch, and these are always soluble. So there's no exception to these. And these include ammonium, nitrate, chlorate, perchlorate, and acetate. Then we have the inner wall. The inner wall consists of chloride, bromide, and iodide, and these are soluble except when in the presence of the horse, like I said before, and the horse consists of silver, mercury, and lead. And as I said before also, sulfate, which is the only, well, not the only, but yeah, this is the only compound that has an exception, so it becomes insoluble, and it is insoluble whenever it is combined with the tower, which has calcium, strontium, and beryllium. Then we have the insolubles. These are a bit more complicated, but only because you have to remember that they're compounds. The first one is OHS, and it is composed of hydroxide and sulfide, and these are insoluble except when in the presence of the wall, the tower, or ammonium. And lastly, copo. These are another group of insolubles which contain carbonate and phosphate, and these are insoluble except when in presence of the wall or ammonium. I hope you guys understood everything. If you didn't, just go back and look at your periodic table. Make sure you use 2 colors for the inside elements of the table, which are the tower and the horse, and for the outside elements, which are the inner wall and the biggest wall. Remember that the wall the biggest wall is always soluble, and also no clutch is always soluble. So ammonium, nitrate, chlorate, perchlorate, and acetate are always soluble. Then remember that the elements of chloride through iodide in the smaller wall are soluble except when in presence of the hores, which are mercury, silver, and lead, and sulfate, which is soluble except when in presence of the tower. Alright, well, I hope this was of some help to some of you guys, and good luck on your test. Happy studying.